Is it time for me to join you?
Chivalry will never die.
The threads of your fate lie in my hands.
Company, fall in!
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting...
So Rex Lapis is really...
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what, there's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that
Fatui? They certainly...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't...
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere.
Yes, and to think that this happened...
Say, do you think the person...
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with... Still, what sort of...
Ah, forget it.
Hear ye all! Though a dragon soars ageless, gods and adepti live glorious lives. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex, having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial height. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Qixing's announcement said. So that's... Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murder? Could the Qixing already have known that Rex Lapis was... Did Zhongli tell them in secret after... Exactly, right? Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing.
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul were...
3,700.
We, the people of Liyue, were in the long, unending dream of our... Now that we have awoken from our dream, will you stand with us as we...
So concludes the words of Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is...
Is that the traveler who they say
So young. The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. Name your price.
Whoa.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Roping you in was possibly the most
Why, you... Were you just trying to look cool earlier? If you were looking for someone. The cleanup of the premises, managing the crowds as they exit, making an account of...
Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is and here you are looking all...
Why would I not? Right. If the two of you can spare...
That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Qinyue Kia.
You're right. I do like the Mora. As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, when I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon...
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a Paris...
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange the Archon Morax. Could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could. No. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli. Travel, that is true. But there...
Paimon thinks that we should make a...
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors the Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before.
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma... Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis...
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate... This is what visions are. Magical
Uh-huh. That's how people...
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began...
Vision hunt?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders.
They want to seize visions?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely...
Whoa.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement...
These are indeed false accusations. But it remains undeniably true that Child did send people to... I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign relations front at the moment. Ha! Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Child's exalted position as a harbinger... All right then. Was there anything else you wished? Ah, that was a good one. That said, the reason why the Qixing were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit, I hinted as much to... How did I accomplish that, you ask? All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even... Kuching is absolutely right. Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course that she must have been behind the chief. Could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing... All right then. Was there anything...
That's right! Zhongli, now that you don't have since Morax is dead... Also, isn't the Golden House the only mint in...
The Mora present now will not vanish. But the Golden House will indeed have to cease operations for a lengthy...
This is terrible! We're all about to...
Yes, this is indeed... Well, I suppose...
Then, did you at least set some private fund...
Oh, a private fund.
What's a shame?
It's a shame that I didn't think of it at the time. All right then. Was there anything else you wished? Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get in...
To think that the Geo Archon had signed a contract with the Cryo Archon. I wonder what the contents of their agreement were.
Paimon doesn't care who you are. Making a deal with the Tsaritsa is so... If you want to adventure together with Benny's adventure team, you have to come prepared. Domains are very dangerous, so you should always take care to double and triple check.
I've heard that Albert, being the leader of Barbara's fan club, sometimes gets bumps and bruises on purpose so that he can go to the cathedral to see her.
Paimon feels the Knights of Avonia should keep a closer watch on weirdos like that.
But it seems that a month later, Albert discovered that Bennett was managing to see Barbara far more than he was. On second thought, Bennett does have...
Fischl makes a very unique impression, doesn't she?
How so?
Well, she travels together with a talking raven for starters.
Well, I'm traveling with you. It's not all that different. Speaking of Fischl, she also claims to be a visitor from another world. We're similar in that way. We even bring a pet along with us.
Pat? Now wait just a minute here.
But her raven Oz, he looks cool and is polite to boot. More importantly, he can both scout and...
How do you become as popular and cool as Captain Beto? How does a person... do you think that Chi-Chi needs to drink blood?
That's not a zombie, Paimon. That's a vampire.
Then, will she transform during a full moon?
Werewolves, Paimon.
Come on! Paimon will teach you how to fly! 3, 2, 1!
Paimon's gone. Well, whatever. I'm tired. Let's just sit here for a bit. I'm flying with you in my heart.
By royal decree, I summon thee!
No rest for the wicked.
Children, come.
Oh, what is...
Oh, no. You've done so much for Lee. In fact, my old friends and I...
A gift? For Paimon?
Oh, child, you are so very... When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, that simply won't do. Especially... Fortunately, I have not yet grown so... Oh, did my friends never mention that? I will not go into too much detail, but the teapot that you entered previously was a little...
So, in the eyes of an adeptus, creating...
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such a... but that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I...
That's right!
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no... What's more, doubt that you would know how to find the materials, I am certain. Well, for starters, I require some. You would have to dig downward, following the. But almost no one has been able to find Shim. Even more difficult to find is Smaragdus jadeite, which must be. In any case, Smaragdus jade. Goodness knows if that child.
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny.
Yes.
She counts? How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor?
Oh, maybe so.
I'm back, Granny. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Allow me to do the honors. Yanfei, I believe you.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being clear. A shame that we didn't. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately. Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yanfei, a legal advisor. Oh, yes, here's my business card. You'll find it if you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
All right, Yanfei, all right. Let's get it. You'll have to excuse Yanfei. She's always been like this. Ever the talkative.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question.
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis and that he was fine with it. Even contributed to. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff. The chasm's been sealed off, and there's just no way in. Couldn't secure any documentation either.
Is that so? Yanfei, are you sure you can't find some?
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the Oh,
Whoa, that's a real...
commercial consultancy. Oh, Krustle. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any... Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best...
Wow, an Adept... Best we be a little...
Oh, moving. Hello, Mr. Crossell.
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice.
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize. I've already rented them out to a lady named Chiao.
Wait, isn't Smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried?
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with... The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question... In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Ms. Jiqiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value...
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need to ensure fair...
In that case, might you know where Miss Chow lives? We'd like to pay...
Oh, of course. She wrote her address...
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossell. We'll be off now.
Cry out my illustrious name.
Oh, whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me.
How do you do, Miss Chow? My associates and I are very interested in that.
The hairpins. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stuff. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearance. But now that I've lost the hairpin...
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense...
Would you really?
Hold on.
Huh? Well...
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? True.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you... Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that And given the rarity of Smaragdus jadeite, I fear...
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid into the hair...
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, whichever way you look at it.
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need...
Please. However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants after... Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any longer.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most... So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow.
What did I feel? Well, I remember that my family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past.
Smooth to the touch. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine...
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With... You lost them!
I'm sorry.
Mora! Do you have... I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we...
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. It was in fact genuine smaragd...
Of course! Genuine article guarantee...
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better...
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Miss Chow. I have something to discuss with... It's not convenient to speak here, so let's...
That's like 1, 2 carries. That's 1,225. Well, isn't that adding this? I have.
I can't believe the well got polluted.
Oh there! Come and...
Miss Yanfei, what is...
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the Orin laid on those hair...
What do you mean?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus jadeite is found deep underground, and if mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of... Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time.
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were, if I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus jadeite.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right...
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would... And then he'd throw the Smaragdus jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be...
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute...
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing...
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Miss...
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even... It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be...
I understand. Then
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you...
This contract has so many pages.
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through.
I've had a read through.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable, I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case...
Miss Yanfei, I have to ask...
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus jadeite myself. I noticed strong... Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter. But either way, it's a lead. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law... But again, let's not dwell on this. I've got it! Let's pay a visit to Chateau. If Mr. Crossell had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win?
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnayan merchant named...
A Snezhnayan merchant... I do remember that. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was... He was quite generous with his money, too, so...
Do you...
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept her...
Thank you, sir. We'll take...
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings. Yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially... I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jade.
A thin layer! If you must see for yourself, try examining these shapes.
Is that so? So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across... These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding, there may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an and, I'm sure, a significant difference.
All right, let's focus up.
But never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr.
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them.
Miss Yenfei?
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossell did indeed...
Yes, that's right.
Then I have no further questions.
Of course.
Oh, I have my reasons. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the...
Yes, I see.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor...
With this hard evidence to back us up?
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha! Got it! Singxi. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith.
Well, that was quick.
Because lots of people come to... As you know, Liyue Harbor is... But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessary. As such, legal...
So you helped them...
Yes, well, that's no... You sound surprised. Knowing the law in... Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again with that cat...
Well, that's that then.
Oz, reveal thyself!
No rest for the wicked.
I summon thee! I summon thee!
Oh, Miss Yenfei, it's you.
Have no further trouble from then on? Has a merchant by the name of Crossell...
Crossell? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant, but the design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is...
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence...
Miss Singxi, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossell...
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on. Mr. Crossell wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures. I also kept a copy for my own records. See, the inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus...
Thank you, Singxi. Now...
Sure, it isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it...
Nothing you need to worry about, just a minor issue.
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume some...
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip.
The weirdo with the snake around it?
Because only he can provide it once we have this final piece of evidence.
Show me your prescription.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs. And if it isn't Miss Yanfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatan?
No. I'm here this—
Smaragdus jadeite? Why, yes, there is some. The 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to. I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the.
That is indeed the case.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's But after I gave him my reply, I wonder, Miss Yanfei.
Ah, you needn't concern yourself about that,
You're too kind.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation?
Yes, my investigation is—
Wonderful. Well—
Of course. Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her?
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus jade. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid.
Material evidence? What? But I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus jadeite, and yet you—
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, if we want to determine whether the ore is genuine, we need to start with evidence from the Jade Mystery. This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between— In any case, Smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite. So I had him cut away the nephrite, he returned the valuable jadeite core to me.
That's an unsubstantiated—
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated.
Looks like our first hard evidence. Something legally binding.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry—
Our second piece of evidence—
You know, you could be right.
Of course I'm right. All the evidence—
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall— Traveler, would you do the honors?
What?
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the sustained contact with Smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, unless— Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar— No idea, you say? I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be— Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation.
What? Wait!
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear Mr. Crossell.
Huh? No.
Aren't actually inlaid with genuine Smaragdus jadeite. You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that— Mr. Crossell, your answer, please.
He's seriously intimidating right now.
I admit it. But I'm a victim in all of this, too. I invested a great— But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel— I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out. Only to— That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite, and especially, I was worried that someone would see through it. Which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off—
Exactly!
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found— If word got out that I sold them—
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on—
10 times.
Crossell looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow—
20%? That's as much as I—
There's no need. Even if the Smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of smaragdus...
What? But
Miss Yunfei,
that's not...
Thanks so much for your help this...
Oh, come on. No need... Well then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has no further claim...
Is that...
Actually, I could see from the hairpins you produced that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the... If we could join forces...
Well, that's that. And we've got the smaragdus jadeite that Granny wants too.
Exactly.
The right solution depends. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. An Adeptus. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as... In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor...
Paimon can think of someone who would...
Well, since we got what we came for...
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Ah, you've returned. Good.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now.
Oh, you. Oh.
I'm off then. Bye! Oh, yes, Traveler. Make sure you... I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble...
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not?
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was... Indeed, Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimately... Liyue... All right, then.
Oh, Paimon's so excited!
It is but a single teapot. There, hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, take these blueprints with you as well.
Wait a minute, Granny!
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged...
Please be mindful of your personal safety.
Wow! This teapot seems... But there's just a whole load of nothing around it. Paimon can't do that! Still... What? Oh, wait a sec.
I created another universe and founded paradise. For I, Fischl, am the Prinzessin de
Wow! It's a huge finch! Excuse me, I am not... hang on a moment. Oh, call me. I suppose you may call me Tubby. So you're the little... Madam Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. You may leave all matters Your journey may be far from over. But at least this way, you will not. Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do. Thus, we teapot spirits were created. You may consider me. Now, allow me to. Have you any blueprints on you? As long as you have a blueprint, you can. Blueprints? Yes, these are the blueprints. Just commit the image of the. Then simply release the thought from your mind and the. Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city. I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus, he said that even though subspace creation, this world is not a true one after all. It provides merely a golden-eyed adeptus? I hardly remember myself. What's more, I have. Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a. If there's anything you.
I do worry about the well-being of my retinue during my impromptu absence.
I'm sure the good people of the Adventurers Guild are absolutely fine, mein Fräulein.
Traveler, please, over here. It has been a while since you joined the Adventurers Guild. Are your adventures going smoothly? Is that so? Another person to count on is always good at.
Yep, and it's even harder.
Ah, yes. Let me consult our records. Ah, there it is.
Wand. Wait, do you mean, does that stranger's face look...
Like the honorary knights? No, they couldn't look more different.
Seriously?
That stranger declined the guild's invitation, so I can't say that I know anything about the relation. Nonetheless, you can. After all, it is not. And should the stranger be a strong adventurer indeed, he would certainly be a big. Please don't talk down on yourself. Your deeds are the stuff of song for all the bards in the city, even now. Well, as to he stands guard at the. I wish you every. Body and mind. Time to act.
I literally just got Yae Miko in one go, in one wish. Oh my gosh.
Well, since you asked so... When training to be...
Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine. The purpose of my visit is to monitor your I am the Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine. The purpose of my visit is to monitor your every move, for such is the order of the shrine. Oh, come on, don't be so nervous. It's only officialese, for goodness sake. I couldn't just go gallivanting around for no reason at all, could I? Now, come on, do something amusing for me. Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these.
I got this character in one pool. I got this character in for one pool. One pool on the wishing banner. I got her in one pool. Must improve.